What's going on, you guys? Rasate out here in Singapore. Thank you so much for joining me back on the Night Owl podcast. I am really tickled a little bit to be talking about the thing I want to talk about today because it came from a cartoon, y'all. It came from Sonic. And I love Sonic the Hedgehog. I didn't have a chance to play it on Sega back when it was, popular and everything, but luckily for me, it's still a cartoon right now, and baby girl enjoys it. So every now and again, I find myself sitting down to do her hair, or maybe just like idly writing down notes for something else, and I catch, the dialogue in the background. But this particular episode was kind of funny because you know me, I take inspiration from pretty much everywhere. And I've been known to do a lot of things from Disney. I've been known to, pick up pieces from podcasts and from music lyrics, like all kinds of stuff. So I don't let where the inspiration comes from limit me. So I was listening to this episode of Sonic where Knuckles was actually talking to him. And as you know, Knuckles is this big red character who isn't the brightest, but he has brute strength, right? So he's able to like just knock down everything in his path. He doesn't necessarily have the logic to figure out why he's knocking down what he's knocking down, but he does it anyway. So there was a part in there that was so poignant. I thought it was really, really important to point out that he was talking to, what was it? He was talking to one of the other characters who was trying to open a restaurant in competition with Meh Burger, which is this burger joint that kind of has like really subpar standards, doesn't have very good customer service, but people still go there because that's the only place in town to go get food, right? So he was saying that, she should go ahead and do what she wants to do because why not, right? And she was like, no, but I don't know how. How do I open a restaurant? What would I even do? Like, I'm not even sure where to start. And he said, it was so cute. I had to screenshot this. He said, if I let knowing nothing stop me from doing something, well, then I'd never do anything. And I thought it was really cute because that's a lot of the reason why we stall on the projects that we have in our life. We really feel like, you know what, I need to know everything about it first, and then I'm going to do it. I had a conversation with one of the guys in my family, one of my cousins, like a couple of weeks back, and he was saying, he's got the startup, he's trying to work on sales at the moment, and he has a small team. They're very young, they're fresh out the gate from college and everything, but he's having trouble connecting with them and helping them understand what it is that they're supposed to be selling. And he doesn't want to have to spoon feed them. He wants them to kind of think on his own. He's one of those I want to nurture leaders kind of leader, and I love that, right? But for some reason, they're over here talking about, well, I need the stats and I need the prior history. I need to know the algorithm. I need to know other case studies that are like this particular product. And then I want to check on the market and see what the market is thinking. I'm thinking, oh my God, okay. For me personally, all I would need to know is what the product does. Like, tell me about the product. Tell me about the price points. How do I sell it? What do I need to know about this product? What does it do? How is it made? And then after that, if someone were interested, what do they need to do? How do they get involved? So that was really simple for me, but for a lot of these people, a lot of these kids that are just out the gate or whatever, they don't think that way. Let me give you another example. I'm not going to lie. I've been trying to launch a course forever. I launched a course very quietly and then I didn't tell anybody. Why? Because I was scared that it wasn't very good. But I also know in the back of my mind, because Cece from the Six Figure Trick has been saying it forever, the first version of whatever you do is going to suck. Just get over with it. Just get it out there, throw it on the wall, see what sticks kind of thing. And then based on the feedback, the critical feedback, fix it, adjust it. Because honestly, the best information about what to do and how to do it for your particular business comes from your particular audience. So then you're really connected to them and they can tell you what they need and what they don't need. Because you don't know what everyone knows, right? You don't know how much they've dug into emotional intelligence or how to sew clothes. You don't know what their expertise is yet, the level of expertise, but you do know that they're looking for an answer, and then you try for the first time, and then you realize, okay, well, maybe less of this and more of that instead. So this is the thing. A lot of us stall because we think that we need to know everything first before we can do it. Guess what I've suddenly discovered? I need to do it without any knowledge, without any preconceived notions, without any old habits, nothing. Just go do it and see what happens. And then refine. I think that's the best process for me. Now, I don't know if that will work for you or not, but for me, it cuts down that timeline that is taken up by buying courses and attending webinars and being parts of groups and quietly just lurking in the shadows of everybody else that's doing the work. Just go do the work. Get started. The first couple of times, you don't have to announce it to 1 million people. Announce it to 3 or 4 people that you trust, that would give you good feedback, that might be able to help you get the jitters out the way and just get that first version out there. Once they like what you have, then put the second version out there and tell more people, and then keep on going. Honestly, Dear Rasati was a project in the process, is like a work in progress for about 2 years. And no one knew about it except for a few choice people. But even then, I was so nervous, I'd start it and stop it and start it and stop it and start it. And yes, people are worried about, if I did that on a large scale and told the whole world about it, it would discredit me. I would lose face in the business. People would not trust me to actually carry through the next time I do something. So what did I do? I made sure it wasn't a lot of people that knew. But the stuff was out there. I had to go research the platforms. A lot of times what will happen is I'll get in the process of doing something. I'll hit a roadblock somewhere where it requires me to read a lot or, make a decision on the spot when it comes to money. And I will put it off. I will put it off because I do not want to spend money where I don't need to. So then I'll look for free solutions or any other solution besides having to put down money right away because let's face it, I don't have a lot of money to spare. I don't have a lot to gamble with. I need to kind of be smart about my choices. So a lot of times I will stall and stop doing what I'm doing. And then I get into the habit of, oh my gosh, but I don't know enough. Who would know stuff? Let me go buy a course. Let me go sit down through this. But you know what else happens? Because I'm a hoarder. What I tend to do is buy these courses and sit on them. I'm pretty sure the majority of the space that's taken up in my computer is based on courses and free downloads and shit that I've taken from people. Yeah. And the majority of that I have not even looked at, which is terrible, right? Because I did spend $10 here and $20 there, and there's a lot of stuff on my computer, I'm not gonna lie. So when I tell you sometimes the best way to just do it is to do it, I'm telling you from experience because I've been that hoarder, I've been that procrastinator, I've been that, oh, let me go do this. No, maybe not. I mean, let's face it. It took me a couple of years to put out my first cookbook. And honestly speaking, to design the cookbook and produce it as a downloadable PDF, literally took me about, 30 minutes. Because I had all the recipes already. I have all the stuff that I use frequently. And this is a cookbook based on what happens in my kitchen on a daily basis or monthly basis, right? The things that I use the most. So it was like French toast that I do every other weekend. And then the opposite, the alternating weekends, it's normally pancakes. And I haven't had any complaints about pancakes or French toast. I do crepes every once in a while. I do popovers. I think I'm pretty good at what I do, right? So the fact is I've been collecting these recipes forever. I've tested and tried and used these recipes over and over again. I've tweaked them so that they're mine now. They're not actually the way that they originally were created. And all I had to do was write that shit down and put a couple pictures on it and send it into the world. And I didn't. It took me years to do that. And guess what? Since I released the first one and didn't tell the entire universe about it, I'm a little hesitant to do the second one. But I did have some sales. I had about 5 sales. Because I think I told 5 people and every one of those people actually bought it. So the point being, you guys, don't let not knowing something stop you from trying. Obviously, there are calculated risks, right? If it's about how to create something to sell online, honestly, there's not a lot you could do that could really ruin your reputation. Unless, of course, the topic or the subject material is kind of touchy. But nevertheless, try, do something. Honestly, I didn't know what I could or couldn't do until I started doing it. Something started off as a pet project because I just needed some time to get away from all of the work, all of the absorbing material, reading material, looking for material, researching material. I had to put that stuff down for a little bit. So I started doing a little bit of painting on the side, and not the paint by numbers kind of stuff. I mean, although I do want to, I just didn't. I just started on my own. So I did a little craft project based on some stuff in Pinterest. I'm telling you, Pinterest is the devil. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love Pinterest, but it is a complete time suck. I will lose myself in the vortex of Pinterest, but that's neither here or there. So I used a piece of information from Pinterest, and I went ahead to try and create my own piece of art. And you know what? I got lost in that. And I didn't know what I was capable of doing until I started to think about, okay, what do I need? What are the pieces that go into this? And okay, once I have those pieces, how do I adjust it? Let me tell you what the project was. I decided I was going to do a piece of art based on a globe. So I bought a globe, I bought some paint, I thought about the inspiration that I've seen before on other painted globes or whatever. And I basically wanted a very small quote on the globe and then 2 colors. That's it, max, nothing else. And then when I would peel off the lettering, right, it would reveal the actual globe map instead, and then around it would be the pieces that I've painted in. Simple enough concept. I think I could have done it, but execution was a little bit different. But it wasn't until I started going to execute that I realized what I needed and what wouldn't work. So the first thing, obviously, I had to go find a globe. Got one. Went to go find the paint. Got it. No problem. And then I was thinking, how am I going to do the lettering? Can I somehow superimpose these letters onto the globe just by hand lettering. Nope, my hand lettering was not that great. Eventually I was like, well, what can I stick on there, right? There's contact paper, but it's hard to find. So what I did, I went to go get masking tape. Masking tape, oh, that's all well and good, but now I need to find the lettering. So I had to go looking for the lettering that I thought was pretty, the kind that wasn't too difficult to cut out or whatever, and found the lettering. Then I'm like, all right, well, how do I put the lettering on the masking tape? Because I can't print the masking tape. And I honestly thought that I could superimpose it by laying my printed piece of paper with the lettering on it on top of the masking tape and draw over it so there would be an imprint on the masking tape. Yeah, it didn't work that way. So eventually, there were other things that I had to do, but the point being that I had to try a couple of things to see what worked, and then eventually, it looks great, you guys. I'm actually really proud of my piece of work. So don't let not knowing how stop you from trying. Do figure out what it would take to get this thing working. Sometimes you got to work it backwards. I think I did an episode on building the plane on the way down. Sometimes you got to let the people know you're going to do this. And then from there, you have to work it backwards to see what all you need to make sure that it is a success somehow. And you know what? The first time may not be a success, and that's okay. Honestly, I hate having to think about payment gateways and which platform I'm going to use. I hate that because there's so many out there. But eventually, what I ended up doing was pick one and see what happens. And when it doesn't work, obviously for the next time, you'll know better. But don't let not knowing something stop you from trying, or you will still be sitting on the couch in 5 years' time watching Netflix having not ventured anything. And I don't want that for you. Regret sucks. Trust me. It took me years to finally muster the courage and put myself out there. And guess what? I've had some crappy times, but I haven't looked back since. So if you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. In the meantime, you guys, do something today that scares you. Do something today that puts you out of your comfort zone, but is towards something that you've been dreaming about for a really long time. Go figure out what parts are needed to be able to get to that place that you want to be. Go figure that part out. And the rest, that enthusiasm criteria, you'll figure out the rest. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.